Hello, BookTube. I have some new arrivals for you. I think I have 6 books. Yes, 6 books to show you that will be in your bookstore probably any day now in early February. I haven't read any of them. so we're just going to look at them together, but I don't have any sage advice for you. The first one is, I think, YA. I'm pretty sure that it would be classified as that, although it doesn't. This doesn't really say so. The pub sheet doesn't really say so. But this is by Scott McEwen and Hoff Williams, and it's Trigger Mechanism. And it's about a video game that is all too real. Let's see here. When Jalen Rose puts on a set of VR goggles and begins his normal video game live stream, he enters a new virtual reality. Designed by a friend he knows only as Pro_F_ER. Might be Professor. Where points are awarded for kills. Only this time, unbeknownst to Jalen, the game has been re-engineered by a cyber-terrorist known as Incite, so that real human lives are taken in the Grand Theft Auto-style massacre. When Jalen logs off, he learns he's just killed 53 innocent people. And this takes place in Camp Valor, which I think is the title of a previous book. Yeah, I think we saw Camp Valor on this channel earlier, a year ago or more. And I don't think I still have Camp Valor. But I'm assuming that this thing will stand on its own. The plot description certainly sounds like it will. I'm going to give it a try, that's for sure. So this comes out in February. So this will be, video game turns bloody massacre. Then this next one, well, I will tell you all about it. we are not fear or favor here. We will. This also comes out in February. This is a novel, a historical novel by Paul Wolfe. It's called The Lost Diary of M. Let's hear all about it, shall we? Dazzling blonde socialite Mary Meyer had a front row seat to Camelot. She was a lover of JFK, perhaps the love of his life. She was the ex-wife of a CIA chief, an LSD explorer with Timothy Leary, and a bohemian aristocrat in the storied Georgetown set. Killed a year after JFK's assassination in a still unsolved murder, she took her secrets and America's to the grave. But what if she had recorded everything in a journal of secrets and secret power, more dynamite than diary, whose pages reveal a death foretold for this outspoken woman? She told friends there was such a journal. She also told the friends that there was a book, that she had written a book. And CIA head of counterintelligence James Angleton, brother-in-law Ben Bradley, and sister Tony Bradley all searched for it, but the diary was never found. Until now. Using the few facts known about Mary, debut novelist Paul Wolfe conjures a vivid history so that she can finally have her say. An ingenious depiction of a person, place, and era, The Lost Diary of M is a mesmerizing mixture of research and imagination. So it's great for him that this is his debut novel. He has been an architect, a songwriter, and a multiple award-winning writer in advertising, and he lives in New York City. But this is his first book. And I will certainly read it. I will certainly read it with a fine-tooth comb. The mesmerizing mixture of research and imagination is, regardless of what the author does with the words on the page, mostly imagination. It is mostly imagination. Mary Meyer was not only not the love of JFK's life, but she was also never a lover of JFK at all. That whole story, every single detail of it, is fabricated. As were most of the things that came out of her mouth. and that LSD explorer with Timothy Leary ought to underscore that point. But we will see. I will not be territorial. I will not be territorial about this. We will see if the author crafts an entertaining narrative out of these kernels. If he does, then I will not be, a dog barking in the yard saying, well, what about slandering the dead? None of this happened. You're painting a horrible picture here. I won't do that. I won't do that at all. If I can hold my tongue for the absolutely scandalous portrait of JFK that James Ellroy paints, for instance, in The Cold 6000, then I can hold my tongue here as well. This is one of at least 2 Kennedy novels that I know of that are coming out in 2020. The other is They Called It Camelot. And so I'm going to have to get used to this. The history is claiming this era and the people in it. And historical fiction writers get to do that sort of thing. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be that crank, you know, furiously writing in the margins of a historical novel saying, "You've got Peter Abelard's hair color wrong. How dare you, sir? You shall be hearing from my solicitors." I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not. It's enough for me to know, and it's enough for me to maybe tell you in passing, that most of this is going to be fiction. And it's a novel, so we already know that. Same thing is true here, only there's less, for me, there's less personal stuff involved. There's less, I feel less personally invested in deciding whether or not, how accurate this is. This is more historical fiction. This is Jessica Fellowes' next book in the Mitford Sisters murder mystery series. This is the Mitford Scandal. Stylish cover. And this comes out, this is out already. This came out on January 21st. Let's see here. The year is 1928. And after the death of a maid at a glamorous society party, fortune heir Brian Guinness seizes life and proposes to 18-year-old Diana Mosley, the most beautiful of the, or Diana Mitford, sorry, the most beautiful of the Mitford sisters. The maid's death is ruled an accident, and the newlyweds put it behind them to begin a whirlwind life zipping between London's Mayfair, chic Paris, and Venice. Accompanying Diana as her lady's maid is Louisa Cannon, as well as a coterie of friends, family, and hangers-on from Nancy Mitford to Evelyn Waugh. When a second victim is found in Paris in 1931, Louisa begins to see links with the death of the maid 2 years previously. Now she must convince the Mitford sisters that a murderer could well be in their midst, all while shadows darken over Europe and shadows darken in the heart of Diana Mitford herself. So this is the next Mitford book. I confess, I think you were here when I got the first one of these and thought it was a hoot. I thought it was absolutely hilarious to even think that, of making the Mitford sisters into, crack sleuths. The idea still strikes me as a little bit ridiculous, but I confess these books have completely won me over. It's such just a bubbly series. I love it, absolutely love it. So this is out already. I need to get to this right away. So this will go on the immediate pile. Same thing with this next one. I think this next one is a February release, but it also needs to be on the immediate pile. Let's see, am I right about that? Yes, this comes out in late February. I think we've seen the advance copy of this already, but I need to get on this right away. This should not have waited this long. This is Max Hastings' new book. Max Hastings is one of our best living historians on World War II era, and this is Operation Chastise, the RAF's most brilliant attack of World War II. A raid on German dams by the Royal Air Force's 617 Squadron on May 17, 1943. So this is the history of one operation. The attack on Nazi Germany's dams was one of the most remarkable feats in military history. Absurdly young men maneuvering unwieldy bombers in the dark and without benefit of electronic aids to destroy a target standing less than 60 feet above the water. So this is Max Hastings has two keys that he operates in. One is where he does this sort of thing, regimental history basically, where he looks at one operation, one group. And the other is when he takes a big, broad canvas look at some World War II entirely by itself, or the Western Front, or something like that. I like him in both registers, so we shall see. We shall see. I admit it's harder for him. I think it's probably harder for him to get long reviews in major journals outside of the military history journals when he does books like this, but I'm still interested in reading them. And then the next two books that we have here to finish up these new arrivals are kids' books, which I love. So the first one we'll deal with here is, this is coming out in March. Oh, I didn't know this was this far away. And this is Over the Moon, in which wolves discover a human baby. What happens when a baby who is floating down a river is rescued by two wolves? Well, they become a family, of course. The wolves teach the baby about good and evil, dark and light, right and wrong, so that she grows up to be a smart and strong and ready to set off to make her own world. And this is about what happens if your family finds you. It's one of those kinds of books. Let me give you a glance at the artwork. So the artwork is simple, simplistic, not at all realistic, but that'll make it extra charming for a little kid. I haven't read it, so I can't report back on what it is as a reading experience. These things I will probably read to kids myself, one of them, or maybe others somewhere else. But this next one I think is a dead certainty that I will be reading this to kids. This is by Candace Fleming and Eric Roman, and it is Honeybee. The busy life of Apis mellifera. Apis mellifera being the Linnaean distinction for a honeybee. Beginning at birth, the honeybee emerges through the wax cap of her cell and is driven to protect and take care of the hive. She cleans the nursery and feeds the larvae and the queen. But is she strong enough to fly? Well, not yet. She builds wax comb to store honey and transfers pollen from other bees into the storage. She defends the hive from invaders. Apis accomplishes all of this before beginning... Oh, they name her. Her name is Apis. Well, before beginning her life outdoors as an adventurer, seeking nectar to bring back to her hive. So this is going to be a fact-accurate natural history of the honeybee. Look at how beautiful that is. Good Lord. And look at how beautiful these illustrations are. Oh. And this is, I don't know what the text is going to read like, but this is just a flat-out certainty to read to my kids. Just a flat-out certainty. They're gonna want to read about this, and then we will talk about bees. Because this book will not get into details. And honeybee language is astonishing. The whole subject of honeybee language is astonishing, even to adults. Most adults don't have any idea. You tell them things and they're saying, are you making this up? That can't be true. And I tell them, no, it is. Yeah, they have past, future, and present tense. They have the subjunctive. They are able, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. And it won't be in this book. A little bit of it will be. But the kids will want to know more. And I'll bring up also the famous subject of how a honeybee's wings can support its weight when it flies. That sort of thing. This will lead. Oh, look at that. That's the back cover. No chatter. Isn't that lovely? Oh, very nice. How nice. Okay. So there you go. Those are some new books. So we have Honeybee and Over the Moon, 2 kids' picture books. Then Operation Chastise by Max Hastings. The Mitford Scandal by Jessica Fellows, starting to creep closer and closer to the actual biographical scandals in the Mitford life, as opposed to just them stumbling across a dead body. Then The Lost Diary of M by Paul Wolfe, his debut novel. Good for him. Big hardcover debut novel. And the Trigger Mechanism. A Camp Valor novel, I think, because it has camp in the title. I have a feeling that it's YA. I don't remember if I read Camp Valor. I don't think I did. I'm going to read this one as a standalone anyway. But I'll try to get Camp Valor. See if the publisher has one hanging around. But I'm interested in these sorts of things anyway. So that is it. Sorry, I'm belching like crazy here. That is your new releases. Those are your new arrivals for today. So I'm going to wrap this up. But I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.